Hey guys, we have a big problem here and I'm not sure what to do about it. This all started just about 2 weeks ago, 1 week before we went on vacation. And I want to start out by saying we got chickens in the spring of 2011, and we have been very fortunate to not have predator issues here. I can list them on one hand, really. We had a neighbor's dog that was relentless, but mostly with my little dog, Cammie. We did have two turkeys get attacked by something that was either a coyote or still suspect the neighbor's dog because they came back. They were injured, but they didn't get killed. We had a few things here or there. You saw with the possum once, which was kind of just a kind of freak accident type of thing. And we had just a chick here or there come up missing. Not sure what happened, but overall, we've been very fortunate with predators until now. So let's go back, and I'm going to show you some of the footage that I got from before we went on vacation that I never had a chance to put up. I was inside and I heard a ruckus from the chickens, and I always come out to investigate it. And when I got out here, I found them hiding under a bush and the lilac bush, all in a panic, gathered together like they do. I came out, nothing was moving. It was totally silent, and I knew there was a hawk. So the chickens were safe under that bush, and I started looking around the yard to try to flush what it was, thinking it was a Cooper's hawk that's usually around here. And a Cooper's hawk is pretty small. He will harass chickens, definitely get chicks, but I'm not too worried about full-grown chickens with him, although I know he could get them. But as I walked around, a huge red-tailed hawk flew out of our pine tree. So I got all the chickens into their run and closed it and started counting and thought I had all of the chickens. But then I realized that I was missing one Brahma, and that's a big chicken. So I started walking around the yard, all the places she usually is under the bird feeder. She kind of sticks to herself and hangs around the fringes of the yard. And then I started walking around back here because that's where the hawk went, and came around, and that's when I saw that behind that little pine tree. See that? And then I came up and I found her right here, still alive, but she's injured pretty badly. Unfortunately, that hen didn't end up making it. She may have if we had a little more time, but with getting ready to leave, she seemed to develop some type of pneumonia, or it was a recurrence of the respiratory thing that they had last spring that my Brahmas had. So unfortunately, she ended up not making it. Now, let's go to yesterday. So yesterday was the first day I had been home. I had a day off after we got back from vacation. And these poor guys have been cooped up in here forever, it seems like. Definitely inside a coop for a full week while we were gone. And then the weather's just been yucky, so they've been kind of stuck in this enclosed run. So yesterday, it had been 2 weeks just about since we had the hawk problem, and I hadn't seen any signs of him since we'd been home, so I let him out. I let them out in the morning, and I kept looking out the window, kept checking on them. Everything was good. The dog had been out in the chicken coop eating their food. Everything was good. Then around the early afternoon, I was inside and I heard something huge hit the window, and I knew that that hawk was back. So I ran outside, and the chickens were just begawking like crazy under that bush again. And I ran around the side of the house, and there was that hawk with one of my chickens again. I ran around to the side of the house. There's where all the chickens were having an uproar, and right there was where that hawk had my chicken down. And I yelled at him, and I was this close to him, and he would not let her go. And he finally flew over and sat there. Can you see it? In the neighbor's tree, just staring at me. right. I know she's in the kind of crazy red glow, but this is the chicken he had, one of my little Americanas, my little peanut. Um, and this little chicken you can kind of hold out on one hand. She doesn't fight at all, so that probably was not helpful. But fortunately for her, there's not a mark on her, and she's eating today, chattering away. So she's getting ready to go back out with the flock. I'm glad that this story has a happy ending. But here's the unhappy part. What am I going to do? Do you see that big tree over there? He likes to sit in that big tree and look right in my yard. Let's kind of go over. And then, as you guys have heard me say, every tree line by our house is being cleared out. So he just has like a vantage point right into our yard for miles. And that beautiful irrigator that usually sits right behind the chicken coop so that he can fly right into the yard. So to say that I'm pretty bummed out about this would be an understatement. I never intended to have chickens just cooped up in an enclosed run. So what kind of suggestions do you guys have? Do you have any for me? Is this going to get better in the summer when we have leaves on the trees? Or is it just something they're never going to be able to go out again? Because I don't see letting them out and just letting this hog just pick them off one by one. It looks like they start to nest about mid-March. So is it possible that this guy's just going to go somewhere else? Although I doubt it. I've seen him around here up the road, so I would guess he sees dinner here. So I'd love to hear your suggestions, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'm really glad that this one had a happier ending, and my chickens are just going to have to deal with being inside here for the time being until I figure something out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you the next time. She's unfortunately missing every one of her tail feathers except for one, though. But there she goes, back with the flock.